Hi there, welcome to your practice. We are going to start this one in a variation of legs up the wall using a chair seat. So if you're by a couch or I guess a lowish bed, a chair, or you can also use the wall. All of those options are available. So whatever you're using, I like to start with my hip as close as possible to the support, a chair, a wall, etc. And then you can begin to lay down onto your side, roll around. Now, if you're using a chair, you want the lower legs supported by the chair seat. You can bring a blanket under your head like I have for support. Maybe pick up the head lightly, tuck the chin to the chest, set the head back down. And we're just going to move into some deep exhales through the mouth. Taking your time. Let's do at least one more. You can do as many as you like, so feel free to keep going. And let your breath find its own pace. We're going to begin here by noticing where the body is in contact with the chair, the floor. So starting with the chair or the wall, you might notice little adjustments you want to make. And the goal is not to find exact symmetry side to side that doesn't exist in the body, but rather to notice, where am I allowing myself to receive support? Where am I not? Is there something I could soften to give my legs to the chair just a little bit more? Getting curious about upper body. Again, beginning with noticing. You might notice something like, my back feels really good here. Let me soak that in. Then you might notice, I have a little tension in my right shoulder. Is there a little change I could make to be a bit more comfortable? So it's not about finding things in the body that are good or bad or that really have any value judgment whatsoever. And more about noticing what is and responding from there. In these conversations with our body, we're always learning something about our own patterns, responses, habits, whether those are things that have come with us to the mat today, or things that we are noticing arise as we're here. And you might notice if there's any part of you that doesn't want to be here, that wants to be doing something else. And just bring that part of you a little compassion. Oh, it makes sense. There's lots of things we could be doing now. We'll check back in with that, whatever it is, in a little bit. I've noticed lately with my daughter, who is currently a toddler, she's learning new words all the time. If she sees something she knows, like an owl, and she'll say, owl, 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 until I say it too. And then once I say it, once she's been acknowledged, she'll move on. And I think our bodies are a lot like that too. They want our recognition. So we'll stay here just a little bit longer. If you want to sigh out any exhales again, you're welcome to. When you're ready, just going to bring a little movement into the feet and the legs, whatever would feel good for you. And a few times we're going to extend the legs. So inhale, reach the right leg up to the ceiling. If you're already on the wall, you can just take the leg away from the wall. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, left leg up and down. So let's go 3 more times each side, just moving on your own breath. And as you go, if you notice a desire to take the leg out to the side, to give it a wobble, go for it. Really make this your own. When you're complete, we'll pause here for a moment. Again, just make any movements that would feel good through the feet. Then we're going to gently roll out the same way you came in. Keep the chin lightly tucked and come on up to seated. So we're going to come around to seated on the blanket. And you can move your chair off to the side some. Just give yourself some space. We're going to start here with the right leg extended. You can have your blocks nearby. You might also want your bolster. Couldn't hurt to have it there. You're going to take one hand under one hip, move the skin out and back. Same thing on the other side. Now bringing the blocks in towards you, we're going to inhale here, lengthen the spine. Exhale, and you can tuck the belly as you go down towards the pelvis. Fold forward. Now we're folding more towards the center here. There's also an option to fold a little more over the leg. And I want you to find a place where you can hold for a while. We're going to be here for a few minutes. So you can hold with extended arms. You could bring the blocks in closer, come onto the forearms. Hands could come to the mat. There's all kinds of options here. So let yourself experiment a little bit and see how the body responds. You could also do this with the chair over your leg and bring your forehead to the chair seat. Once you start to open up the options, not make it about the pose, but make it about what's working for your body, you discover all kinds of possibility. Chin is tucking towards the chest. As you hold here, sometimes you find, oh, there's a little adjustment you'd like to make. Maybe you move the blocks a little, dial them down, make some other kind of shift. Or maybe you discover you're already right in your sweet spot. Just take 3 more breaths here. After your third exhale, you can slowly come on up. We're going to switch sides. So before we do, extend the left leg. Let's give the legs a wobble, a bounce, whatever would feel good. And then we'll switch. So now right leg comes in. You can always support the leg if it doesn't come down comfortably with your bolster or anything else you have laying around. Move the belly a little to the middle and down. And when you're ready, we'll inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Letting yourself explore with the same spacious curiosity on this side. A lot of times I think we find differences side to side, and then we think, oh, what's wrong with this side? When really what the body needs is for us to say, oh, how can I support this side? It needs something different. Softening the jaw, behind the eyes. Any other places you know you have a tendency to hold tension. Making any adjustments that present themselves. Make a request of you as you hold. Letting this be an opportunity to notice what arises as you spend dedicated time with your body. What kinds of thoughts or observations? What things are you noticing in your body that you might have been less aware of before you came to your practice? Let's take 3 more breaths here. After your third exhale, slowly come on up. And we'll release, bringing that leg forward. Give the legs a wobble. and a bounce again. Okay, so now we're going to bring the left shin parallel to the top of the mat. The right leg can tuck beside you or extend out to the side. You might want these blocks. We're going to bring them in front. Move the belly to the middle. And if the calf feels compressed at all, you can bring the thumbs and just roll the skin out a bit so you can bring the foot in, keeping that top foot flexed. And we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, start to fold forward. Now you can keep the hands on the blocks, bring the forearms to the blocks. Another option, you could build yourself a little tower here and make it as high as you'd like. And we're just going to hold here. So if you are feeling nice and supported, you could even bring the head down, resting the chin on the arms or the forehead in the arms. Breathing at your own pace. Letting yourself be with what is. Tuning in to whatever sensations are arising. Letting yourself be in collaboration with your body, making any shifts or adjustments that it asks for. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. After your third exhale, whenever that comes, you can slowly bring yourself on up and switch sides. You can move your props if you need to, or maybe you can move around them. And again, we're going to move the belly to the middle and make adjustments as needed as you come in. So you might find, oh, here, I would like to have my blocks on high to be supported. If you want to use this bolster setup at all, you don't have to. You could also use your chair. And again, letting yourself drop in here. Reminding yourself that whenever the attention wanders, it's an opportunity to bring yourself back. It's really the whole practice. Leaving, coming back. Noticing, responding. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Through your third exhale, we're slowly going to come up. And take both legs wide now. So you can move one hand under one hip, move the skin out and back. If things have moved around a bit. And you might want to keep this similar setup. So again, we're not going to know until you come in, just moving the belly to the middle, what is most supportive for you here. So inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, folding. And giving yourself time. There's no rush. Finding what works. Again, the bolster is optional. You could just use the blocks. You could bring hands to the floor. Head to the chair seat. Make it work for you. And while we're in this position, turn your attention to your back. See if you can feel the breath moving in the back. Getting into some nooks and crannies that it doesn't usually have access to, since we're not usually in this position. Letting yourself truly breathe some new life, some space in places that you need it. Sometimes as you hold, you find, I've gone a bit too far. I want to back off a little bit. So you adjust your props, you adjust your body. Sometimes it's the opposite. It's really a calibration process. Because most of us don't know automatically when we start where would be the right place to be. And how would we? We're meeting our body in this particular moment. And yes, we have ideas. We have past information we've collected. But when you truly meet your body in this moment, there's no option but curiosity and calibration. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. After your third exhale, you can slowly come on up. The slower the better, especially as we move deeper into the practice. You can set your props to the side. We're going to come to lay down on the back here. If you have your chair towards the end of your mat, you can move it off the mat. You might like to have your blocks nearby just in case. And you're coming to lay down. You can have the blanket under your head for some support. Rock the knees side to side. Just noticing what you notice. And we're going to bring the knees back to center here. And we're going to come into a reclined twist. So sometimes it's helpful to scoot the hips a little in the opposite direction first. So if you want to do that, you can press through your feet and then scoot your hips just an inch or two to the left. And then you can drop the knees from here or hug the knees in first and then drop them over. That just gives a little bit more of a twist. And you can place a block under the bottom knee or between the knees or both if either leg feels unsupported. Arm rests wherever is comfortable. If the chest feels like it's coming in to strangle you a bit, I like to just bring my hand, move it away a little, and then release. Breathing at your own pace. Soften the jaw. Head can be looking up towards the ceiling or over in the direction of the knees, whatever is more comfortable for your neck. Is there any part of your legs that are holding themselves up from the floor? If you find a spot like that, is there something you can soften? Support you can add? A change in your position? Let's take 3 more breaths here. For your third exhale, slowly come on back to center. Scoot your hips back to center if you'd moved them. And now, when you're ready, cross through the feet, scoot your hips if you're going to the right. Your choice, drop the knees from here or hug them in first and then bring them over. Again, seeing, what would be supportive on this side? So for me personally, I didn't use a block on the first side, but I am going to use one on the second side. Maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you need less support on this side. Maybe you need the same. It's the inquiry that matters, not the result. Let's take 3 more breaths here. When you're ready, you can remove any props if you are using them, and we're just going to roll more fully onto this side. Take a couple breaths. And then you can gently bring yourself on up to seated. Okay, so now we're going to set ourselves up in the yoga recliner, how I like to think about it. So one block is going to be on the medium setting, a couple inches in front of it on the low. You can always calibrate this if you want to do high and medium, or not use this at all, not use the blocks at all and just use your bolster. Those are all options. And then I like to have my blanket nearby in case I want to use it in a moment. So you can start with your legs in any position. I happen to have mine crossed, but you don't have to. And we're going to lay back onto this bolster. So just getting yourself situated. Sometimes it's nice to lift the head, lightly tuck the chin to the chest. Put the head back down. You could also do that with putting a blanket under the head. Now you can keep the legs in whatever position they're in. Maybe you have legs crossed, knees bent with feet on the floor. But you can also bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees drop down. And the closer the feet are to the body, the more intense the opening. So you might like to just move the feet away a little bit. You could extend the legs. And if you're not using your blanket for your head, or if you have something else laying around, you might just cover yourself a bit with your blanket, letting yourself get cozy. I like to kind of tuck the sides of the blanket under my hips, giving a little support to the legs. Arms rest wherever is comfortable. And we return again to the breath. As you let yourself sink in here, if there's part of you that's like, oh, I wish I had changed that block, go ahead and do it now. It's not going to become less uncomfortable with time. It's kind of a Princess and the Pea situation. And it really is a gift, a reminder to your own nervous system when it alerts you to something that could be more comfortable, more supportive, and you take that guidance. It's you're letting your body know, hey, someone is listening. Let's send out more of this kind of communication. We're just going to let ourselves stay here. Breathing at your own pace. Dropping into support. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Tuning into the inner sensations and conversation. Noticing if your body has any messages for you. When you're ready, you can begin to invite some movement back into your body, maybe starting with wiggling fingers and toes. Making any other movements that would feel good. When you are ready, you have a couple options. You can gently roll to the side or lightly tuck your chin to your chest, pressing your hands into the floor and come up. Once you're up, you can come around to seated. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. We'll take them up to the forehead. May I think of myself with kindness. To the eyes, may I see myself with compassion. To the mouth, may I speak to myself with love. And to the heart, to seal it in, we'll inhale and exhale. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.